Dorms are expensive. Plans are expensive. Everything's expensive.
Belmont's expensive.
Belmont's really expensive. Why finance? So I feel like some people like finance.
Yeah, teach my black people about it as well, because you know we're the ones statistically that usually are struggling financially the most.
Oh snap! What's up, classic crew? How you been and how you do? Welcome to my YouTube. I'm excited to spend this time with you. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey beautiful child of God, it's Jasmine and welcome back to my channel, Stay Classic by Jazzy. Today I have a special guest.
What's up, guys?
Madison is a longtime friend of mine. We've been friends since my freshman year.
Yeah, since your freshman year.
Yeah, and basically your sophomore year. Can you tell a little bit about yourself?
I came in as like sophomore-ish junior because I went to like a middle college, and I'm a finance major, so that's really cool.
Did you?
I've been growing in my finance journey, and I met Jasmine along the way, who is awesome. Y'all make sure y'all like this video.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, plug. She has a YouTube channel too. It's MadisonFaith with more, right?
Yes, it's MadisonFaith.
Put it right here.
So.
Oh, not Whitmore. Mama.
No, it's okay, but I say my full name in the video anyway.
her full government name.
My government name's on Instagram too, so plug to that. MadisonFaith Whitmore is my Instagram name.
But today we're about to talk about money.
Let's get it.
So money is something that is universal. It's important no matter where you are. But truly, money is like what we need to be able to survive. You have to get education. So I feel like it's very important for us as like, I guess, your big sisters, because I feel like I have a lot of freshmen on here watching my channel. They kind of help you manage your money better, save, make sure you come out of college not too much in debt.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Pay down as much as you can, even.
Because I know student loans are real, like student loans.
Oh my goodness, and the interest on your student loans.
That's why you gotta pay on time, or else it'll just keep on. So you gotta pay your bill plus interest.
Which really, you're paying more than you signed up for.
Anyways, Madison showed me her notebook. And that's the first thing I want to show you guys real quick before we get into like more tips.
Yeah.
She's the finance expert. Wait, I forgot. Before you get into notebook, why finance? Because I feel like some people like finance.
Yeah, and then also I feel like in the black community too, it's like,
Come on now, educate, come on.
Well, finance won because I wanted to kind of hold myself accountable in a way. It was kind of one of those things where, like, you know, I grew up in an environment where money was like very prized. It was something, if you had it, you were very important. And like people just kind of like would show off their money by buying things and then not being able to pay their bills at the same time. Like they'd rather buy things and like have something to show rather than actually having things and being okay. I don't want this cycle to be something that just continues in me and my family, but also in the future. And I don't think that's something that God would want me to have in my life either. Like, I don't think He wants us to live our lives just for things. And so, as I came to Belmont, I was like, all right, well, finance, here it is. I'm gonna hold myself accountable, but also I'm gonna be able to teach other people about it and teach my black people about it as well, because, you know, we're the ones statistically that usually are struggling financially the most. So I definitely wanted to be accountable and help you be accountable while I'm being accountable at the same time.
And what you said earlier about how like life is more than money, it just reminds me of the Bible verse. I can't think of the specific scripture, but it's like, isn't life more than money and clothes, you know, more than material things? Money is important, but it's not everything. And the more money you have doesn't necessarily guarantee more happiness and more satisfaction, you know?
It's very true.
When you leave this earth, your money's not coming with you, right? Or your money's not coming with
And
you.
I mean, if you leave and you know Jesus hasn't came back by that time or whatever, you could at least leave it for someone. You know, if you're gonna do something with it, knowing like you can't have it anymore.
Leave it in a will. Give it to your kids. Give it to your grandkids.
Save up enough so they can actually, you know, progress.
Right. But now we're gonna jump back into the journal.
First,
main question: where did you get the journal from?
I got my journal from Barnes and Nobles.
Barnes and Noble.
It's actually a sketch journal, so all of the pages are blank. But I wanted something kind of big because I kind of like that surface area of like having a big journal, and so this right here, yes. And I just, you know, catered it towards like my personality. If y'all want to do that, feel free. I do a lot of different things in the journal, but more specifically, I do a lot of finance things in here. And this is kind of the way that I structure out the accounts that I have. So I know most of us probably have bank accounts, at least one.
Yeah.
At least some type of online, whether it's online banking or at a physical bank. So yeah, so to kind of show, this right here is the first account that I have. Everyone usually has a checkings account at their bank. So this one, I have labeled bills.
Okay.
So more than anything, like if you have a house, an apartment, anything that's like gonna keep coming, basically, like groceries, gas, any credit cards that you have, I put them into categories. So like housing, any debt that you have, any utilities that you pay, or any car things that you pay for the first account. And so that's kind of like how I sectioned off the first account that I have. The second one that I have, this one is more optional, but it's more for lifestyle. So kind of to separate your personal care, like getting your hair done, your nails done, guys, haircuts, lineups.
Yes.
Entertainment, so like restaurants, movies, video games. You guys can kind of read and see store runs and just extra things that you kind of do leisurely, not all the time, but you know, every now and then you want to do. The third one is a savings account. So savings are basically like things that you want to save up for that takes a little bit longer, more long term. And so this one I've labeled emergency fund. And you want to have an account that's like super easy for you to access in an emergency. So you want to make sure that when you do make a savings account, that it's something that you can get to. So it's probably better to have it at the same bank that you probably draw your bills from, because that way if something does happen, or you need to like, if you can't transfer something or anything like that, you can just kind of get it really fast. And so this kind of caters towards like hospital stuff, breaking your leg, twisting your ankle, anything like that. Anything for like if you get fired, maybe you have bills that you have, like Hulu. I know a lot of us have that. Netflix. And like you out of a job, so you can't really
Amazon Prime.
You don't want that account to go into a negative. And even a phone bill, because I know a lot of us probably pay our own phone bills sometimes, and you know, we don't want to miss any payments. These are like for future things of my own, but like even car issues, if we have cars, like a tire blows out, you want to get a new tire, or like something happens with your stabilizer or something. Personal testimony. Also home repair. So maybe in your apartment, you're like, oh, I want to, you know, it's an emergency, my door, something's going on, I don't know. And then I have 2 more savings accounts. These are also optional. It all really depends on the time in your life you're in, really. So this one is more long-term, and I've catered it towards my own goals. And I've also made this an online banking account. So usually when you look for online banking accounts, you want to look for accounts that have like an annual interest rate, so that the money that's sitting in there can grow. Because if you just put it in like a regular savings account, more than likely the interest rate that's on that account, it's not growing your money. So like when it's just sitting there, it's not really making anything for you. So you really want your money to work for you, and you want to make money without having to really do anything. So if anything, like try to find a bank account. They're mostly online, so maybe like looking up things like Ally bank account. I think Acorns does that too.
Isn't it an app as well on your phone?
And I believe Robinhood. But there's a lot of different online banking options that allow you to have a savings account with interest on it, so that your money can grow. So this one's long term. So this would be more like as I'm getting ready to graduate, maybe like getting an apartment, getting a new car if that's the thing, maybe wanting to take a trip, weddings, rings, stuff like that. You know, some of us may get married soon. So
She got a man.
So, you know, just planning for those things and just having that account for that. Because, I mean, it's going to happen, and you guys know it's going to happen. So if you start saving early, you'll definitely be ahead of the game. And, like, that that trauma of not having the money will subside. And then this last savings account, it's more short term. So like phone upgrades, wanting to get a new purse, a video game, people's birthdays, Christmas, holiday things, small vacation, road trips, stuff like that. And mostly I like to keep this cash because it's easier to save up, I feel like, with cash. And like most of the time, a lot of these things you're gonna have to pay cash for anyways. So yeah, that's kind of how I have this organized. Yeah. And you know, you can cater it to however many savings accounts you feel like you need, or how many checkings accounts you feel like you need. And this is kind of a more blueprint of it.
High five banking. Is that like a little guide you used to kind of help you remember?
So this is the high five banking method. It's basically all of these accounts that I have made just simplified into like a blueprint of the 5 banking methods that you should have. And this is by Poised Financial.
I followed her because of you.
Yeah, so she kind of came up with this method.
Okay.
And basically it just goes into like your checkings, number 1. So it's your bills. Your checkings, number 2 is your lifestyle. Savings, number 1 is your emergency fund. Savings, number 2, long-term goals. And savings 3 is short-term goals.
And then you put like the different banks that you use for each one, and like time estimates.
So like for your bills, this is your top priority type of bank account. So everything that you're probably going to be doing on a daily basis, this is probably where most of your money will go. And then for your lifestyle is one of those accounts you can kind of change up a bit if you need to move money other places. So that's what this is saying. Your emergency fund, you can always do through a credit union or an online bank. And also for long term, that just means it's going to take you more than 12 months to save up for. And short term is probably less than 12 months to save up for. So yeah, high five banking method.
Ooh, high five banking method.
You're going to want to know, and you're going to want to know all the tips to saving money. And you need to know now so you can plan for the future. Wow.
Like, you can live a lifestyle where you're debt free. You don't have to worry about always paying somebody back, you know?
Like, most people spend about like $500 to $700 a month just on car notes. And like, imagine if you had like $500 to $700 that you put away every month. Are you okay financially? Are you good?
Do you really need it?